be granted because there's a huge disparity between what is being paid by OWA to our hotels here. It's 1,400. On the other hand, in Manila, for a category or 3-star hotel, it's 3,000. Those with higher star, 4-star and 5-star, they get, it's 2,005, and then it goes up to 2,008 to 3,000. So there's a huge disparity. According to OWA, it was because of COA limitations that in Region 7, or in the city of Cebu, what is allowed only is 1,004. So I had to confirm with our regional director for COA here whether or not there is in fact such a limitation in the payment of the hotels. You know that 1,004 will now be allowed only 7 days. They will now allow the 7-day quarantine. But their testing will only happen on the 7th day. So are they saying now that after they were tested, regardless of whether or not the results have come out attesting that they were negative or positive, they may go home? How is that better than one who is tested upon arrival and upon 24 to 48 hours, he has to wait for the result, then armed with a negative result, he can go home, as compared to one who, according to their protocols, can only be tested on the 7th day, and on that 7th day, regardless of the result, he may go home. Things are getting weirder and weirder. Let us remember, these figures are not just numbers. These are people. These are Filipinos who are sacrificing abroad to bring in the dollars to help their families and to help our own economy. Many have called them unsung heroes. So let us look at the humanitarian side of it. They are coming home not to gallivant around and not to have some grand vacation. For 95% of them, they are coming home because of emergencies. Whether it be a family member gravely ill, or a family member that has passed away, or some accident that has befallen some member of the family, or some other emergency. And they have very short breaks that they ask from their companies where they work. If we subject them to a 10-day quarantine inside the hotel, that's taking away so much time away from family. And if they're rushing home, hoping that they may catch one gravely ill family member still alive, in those 10 days, that family member may already have passed away, and he would not, our ROF or OFW, would not have been able to say goodbye. Put yourself in their place, because you are Filipino, I am a Filipino, they are Filipinos as well. Let us treat them as humanely as we would treat our own family.
Now let me clarify. Ang non-Cebuano residents, after 3 days, they have the option to stay here in Cebu. Dili na kailangan mo muli gud sila sa ilang province.
The situation is actually, while we were saying it should be a shared responsibility, so that after 2 days, if they in fact have a negative test result, and that's good for the next 72 hours, per DOH protocol, I'm just, quoting the DOH. In fact, home quarantine is also allowed. That's DOH protocol. Unless they have already, revoked that protocol, it's still there. Maybe they forgot. So, if they get that negative test result, per DOH statement, that's good for the next 72 hours. We are saying that they should go home. They should go back. If they are coming here to Cebu and they belong to Metro Manila, they go back to Metro Manila. Over there, they should stay. If the protocol in, say, Quezon City is, you stay in this specified quarantine hotel, then they should do that. And they be swabbed on the 7th day. Again, but we will already be giving them that negative RT-PCR test result to assure them that this person, when tested within 72 hours, was negative. Of course, DOH said, but there are so many false negatives. Is that the same as there are so many false positives? So when is it convenient to say false negative, and when is it convenient to say false positive? If we do not believe the results of the RT-PCR on the first day, saying that there are many cases of false negatives, then why do we need to test them on the 7th day? That's the same RT-PCR test that they will have to take. So, we would encourage they go home, they stay there in their own provinces, following the protocols of that province or city, be tested again on the 7th day, stay until the 10th day, and then complete the rest of the 14-day quarantine in their own homes. But there are provinces that would not accept. And so they may stay here for the next 10 days. That's what happened to that lady who died from Nueva Ecija. She tested twice negative, by the way. Negative upon arrival. On the 7th day, she was swabbed again. And she was still negative.
Okay, more questions? No more? You have another issue? Wala na?
With the issuance of the joint manifesto from the 8 congressmen, are we hoping, Governor, the IATF would now listen to us?
I know the DOH did not listen to us because they issued that statement. That they will still insist. They will still insist on the 7th day swab and confinement in the hotel for 10 days. But they would allow it to be reduced to 7 days for those OFWs and ROFs that have been vaccinated in the Philippines. Very kamo na late sulti ana. It's very so I got so lost in the brilliance of the policy.
Kung ang joint manifesto, would it be
Change their
way
minds.
for them to listen to us here?
I am hoping that, our congressmen represent their specific districts, no? That's very, very, it's really bringing it down to the people. And they have spoken out. I hope that this joint manifesto by our 8 congressmen would have a bearing in the decision of the IATF, because if they would meet it, they would just treat it like, cast it aside, then why else do we have to have elected officials for? Di na lang ta magpapili sa mga tao. Ipang-appoint na lang ni sila. Sila na lang magbuot sa panginabuhi, sa katauhan, sa kinabuhi, sa katauhan. We have elected officials because our elected officials have to answer to the people. We are accountable to the people. And so, we are duty-bound to protect the welfare of the people that put us into office.
Okay.
And these congressmen are the crafters of laws. They legislate. It is from them that a law emanates or starts. And they know what the law is.
Lee, wala kayo follow-up question? Okay, go. Thank you very much. In closing.
In closing, I would like to thank you for having stayed with us and listened to what we have presented. I hope that by the data we have presented, you can get a clearer picture of how we must proceed, of how we will be able to rise up to the challenge of managing COVID-19. And furthermore, I hope that above all else, let us not forget our humanity. Let us not forget that we are human beings, not just numbers or figures, but people with families,